more focused on mental health. What things can people do, especially people who are in their mid-careers?
You got to prove yourself is okay, but don't prove yourself at the cost of your life. If you are really going to burn out, anyway you won't be able to do what you're supposed to do. There is nothing in this world that really needs to give you stress. Yeah. There are enough jobs in this world. There is enough work in this world for people to do. Given the fact that the world is expanding like crazy, the avenues are expanding like crazy, there are so many things. So there is always an opportunity that is out there. One closed door will open 50 others, so don't worry on it. Question of timing, but again, by stressing you won't change it. You don't have to take it on you to say ki, oh, if my boss gets up at 5:30, it is my obligation to respond at 6 o'clock. You don't need to, yeah, it's okay. If you get up at 8:30, by all means, as long as we've agreed a timeline and you'll come back to me, that's fine, take your time. Yeah. I'm not going to expect you to get up. I don't want you burning out. Yeah. It's okay. Matlab, meri aadat hai, just because I'm a madman doesn't mean you have to be mad. Yeah. So don't take stress on that and agree to those boundaries. Everything has a solution, everything has an opportunity. I mean, that's the way I would put it.
I think the second part of what you said also is, I think, very important. One is the reality that you cannot stress out too much. The other reality is you can say no stress out, but there are timelines, there are deadlines, there are documents to be turned, new things to be read. You got to get it right every time, right? There are no passing marks in the law firm atmosphere, and neither is it in-house. What you said also was about enabling those conversations, right? Being out there, going and seeking time, asking, I need to have a discussion around something like this.
So I kind of used to work in a MNC, and then from an MNC I moved to an Indian company. So MNC was like, you were mandated, if you are going on leave, you have to put an out of office. And if you are answering emails while you're on leave, you were actually hauled up saying ki, why are you working? Like, okay, I won't work. I moved to an Indian company. I went on leave. I put an out of office. 6:30 I got a call from the boss. We don't put out of office here. He says, at your level, you're supposed to be available all the time. We don't do out of offices. So first thing I did was call my secretary saying, out of office hata de yaar. Naukri jayegi varna. So actually we took that off. So that is how it worked, and and got used to it. Their timings were like whenever they called, whatever was the thing. Moved back to a MNC. My GC, global GC calls me on a Monday morning saying, stop sending emails on a weekend. Like, now what? He says, we don't do this here because you're putting pressure on people. But I realize every company will have its culture. Follow the culture, but at the end of the day, even when I didn't put an out of office and I didn't respond for a few hours or 10 hours, I think nobody bothered. Even when I sent out emails and then turned around and put them as go out on Monday morning, nobody bothered. So I think every company has a culture, and at the end of the day, you got to figure out how you fit yourself into that culture and how you put your culture out there.
I think there are both aspects. See, there are certain things that you can do yourself, and the certain things organization also has to do, right? So organizations have to also change in a particular way. Many have, some haven't yet. So there are places, to say that, okay, because you are stressing, it's on you, is also not the right approach. There are certain organizations, there are certain bosses who might be toxic. It's possible. See, I now have experience of around 23, 24 years, and I have seen with colleagues, with friends who have had very bad relationship with their bosses, who have lost their jobs also, but all of them have landed on feet. Okay, they might have struggled for some time, but everybody lands on their feet. I don't know a single instance where that has not happened. So people need to think everything is long term. Right now you're in that moment, it's maybe you think that it's very important for you, but life goes on. It's a long-term thing, everything passes. If I say myself, see, the things that actually, bad things that happened in my life were things that I have never stressed about. And when they happen only, then you come to know, because they happen suddenly. And most of the things that I stressed about have never really translated into anything stressful. I think that happens to most people. We have very flexible working hours. You can speak to your bosses, you can work from home. I have a couple of members of team who work from home only. And there are, today if you go out and look for talent, even the candidates demand that. If you go to Bangalore and try to hire an in-house lawyer, if you ask them to come to office, sometimes that okay, you can come, maybe you can come twice a week. That is the problem for some candidates. And I respect them for that choice. Okay, whatever, that might create difficulty. I think that coming to office, at least to build a rapport with the business, sometimes could be important, right? Because if nobody has seen you, nobody has met you, then they might not reach out to you. So coming sometimes to the office builds that, but that happens a lot. Even good offers, people are rejecting because if you ask them to come to office every day, then that's a big no-no for many people.